Welcome back. So today we're going to be covering Hell's Paradise. We missed last week, had some stuff going on, but we're going to cover 7 and 8. 7 wasn't too crazy, so it works out. And we're just going to get right into it. Anything, Daniel, you want to?
Before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Comment what you guys thought about the new episodes of Hell's Paradise and what you guys think about the series in whole. Let's get started.
See, I got to cut it to him. That's like his thing now.
Mhm.
So episode 7, I thought it was good. It was big. If I hadn't read it first, I would have been more interested in it, but it's kind of just telling us stuff we already know. We meet. Um, they don't say her name yet, I don't believe, and you meet Hakora or whatever the group,
Yeah,
and his
basically.
child. You meet Groot and the girl, and you just learn a lot about the island and everything. And I like
Mhm.
the line where he said, "Unlike you humans, I don't lie." I thought that was pretty cool when he was worried about if he could trust him and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Mhm.
have the funny parts with Yuzuria and the bath, where she's asking, he's no, and then he just cuts her off, and then she's just so relaxed. And then Sagiri was like, "Oh, I'm here to watch you," and then instantly expect melts when she gets in because she's
Mhm.
relaxed. So that was my. I thought it was a good episode. It was good. Like it was good because every episode it feels like has just been nonstop action. So it's kind of good
And
just to sit and regroup what we know.
it shows a little bit of Genmar's soft side, or soft side too, because he tells the little girl, "Don't worry about those scars," as he's walking around all scarred up. He said, "It don't make a difference if you got him or not."
I thought that was
Basically.
cool because it was point and it was reflecting to how he was treating his wife. He's like, you don't cover.
Mhm.
If that's the case, don't cover your scar.
Yeah.
So
So.
I really like the dynamic of how they're showing him and his wife in the flashbacks. It was really good in the manga, so I'm glad they really focused hard on that part because I mean that is his main driving factor right now. So
Mhm. So. We also learned like the makeup of the island and about the tides and what goes on, basically. Around there. There's what, 3 rings, the
Wall
woods,
Rose, Wall Maria, sorry.
basement.
So yeah, there's like the 3
Yeah,
levels
three
to it.
sections. There's like the place where the hermits actually live, and there's the village, and then there's the forest area and beach combined, and then the tides surrounding the whole thing keep them from leaving. So.
Yeah. T
Yeah, we
Daniel.
also learn that the elixir isn't Mandarin or
Yep.
it's Tan.
Mhm.
Sorry,
It-
Matt.
I really liked how they what they're not called 10. What are they called? Like the I guess beings, like the super beings of the island. I can't
The
remember.
monsters or the gods?
Yeah, no, the gods.
Uh, t-
Um,
I want to say Tengen.
I
I
think
think
Tengen,
it
it's
is
Tenzin.
Tenzin. Yes, because
Tenzin,
I've been calling it
Tenzin.
Tengen, but that's Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is it
And
Tenzin
I
I
and the
realized it the other day when
Shinso?
I was watching. I was like, "What is happening?" It's like
I
Shosu or whatever, and then you have the villagers who get turned into group, which is the
Yeah.
Hikari. So, well, that's his name. I actually might be named the Beans, but yeah, I think it's the Tens. What'd you say it was Tenzin?
Tenzin.
Okay.
Either way, Tenzin, Tengen, whatever it is, potato, potato. I like how they show up because I feel like when they show up, it's like kind of like you're like they're fighting all the other monsters, but you kind of feel like everyone can handle them. But when the Tenzin show up, it's like, oh shit, like we really got to deal. And like even I guess kind of spilling into episode 8,
I'll cover them
I
both. Go
think
crazy.
you, yeah, I think you really like. Oh, I guess we should go over Chovy first because I guess he was the first one to fight him. I
You
guess,
see
and
these shapeshifters?
the whole time it feels like he's just running through everything on the. And then he goes to swing his big ass sword that he picked up off another monster, and it just gets completely shattered on contact with the Tenzin. And then, like, I feel like the manga didn't do as like how should I say this? Like, I feel like the animation of it just goes crazy with like, oh shit, like he's really like in trouble. Then he just gets buried, and then in episode 8, you see the Tenzin, another Tenzin pop up, and you think like so when the blind guy, is it Go?
Uh,
Yeah.
no, Gojo is Jujutsu Kaisen. He's the goat.
No, it's
Gojo.
something
Shion.
else.
Shion, something like that.
Xion. That's what
I
it
don't
is.
know
And
if I pronounce it.
when like, because he's like the blind guy that's just badass, and like he comes in for like the big save, and he's like, no, we got to get out of here, we got to run. And I like how I can't think of his name.
Tenzo.
Tenza. I liked how God, is that Tenza? God, too many of those.
Yep,
But
that's why I was confused.
I
too.
liked his story. I remember reading it and being like, man, I really hope this guy can escape.
So I
And
wouldn't have
even
hanged
like
around.
I know what's happening and I know what's gonna happen in the actual animation. The whole time I'm just like, please, just this little altar. Somehow he escapes because I really liked his story. And then like when he did do a sacrifice play, the chick, she wanted to go back for him, and the master was like, no, like this was his moment. This is what he died for. We're not going to allow that just to
I
go
like
to
how
waste.
it took him saying, if you go back, you're literally saying he died for no reason.
No reason.
And then she's
Yeah.
like, okay, let's.
Yeah. Well, at
good.
first, the master was gonna rush in to try to save him. Then
he understood.
Well,
he's trying to
He
speak.
coughed up
Yeah, he was
blood,
trying to
so
speak.
he couldn't
Yeah,
get
his
the
voice
words
and
out.
stuff.
He was trying to say run. He was like, I need to say, oh, just one word, God, please, just one word.
Because Tenza's story was really cool, and I know T and Daniel skipped the outro, which I understand when the music starts. I mean, it's normally the same thing, but I like how they showed his backstory. It was him sparring with Xion. He like walked in and Xion, he's like sparring with the master, and he finally gets a hit on him. And then he said, "Will you keep showing me the way of the sword?" Well, as to why the music
I saw
was going
that
on
part.
in,
I didn't
that's
realize that was.
after
I didn't realize
the
that was
music's
part of
going
that.
on in the background. And everything.
Oh, I didn't realize that was.
Yeah.
I saw that part. Yeah, I saw that.
Say it's after
I thought that was a cool
it's after the
callback.
blossom drops onto his headband, and then
Oh,
it shows
okay.
it
Yeah, I
after
did
that.
see that.
So yeah, that part I thought was that was the best part of the episode. Even though we have been dragging on the animation of some of the fights, but they did not skip a beat when he was swinging his sword. They cut to the Tenza.
I thought the
Tenza
animation for the fight of this
showed
one
every
great.
swipe going, and she was just dodging it. It was just dodging it. So,
I thought the animation for this fight was really good compared to what I've seen prior, and Tenza was ruthless. Man's couldn't slice the bean with his sword, so he just straight up started boxing it.
Bro, I got a complaint.
Bashed its head in.
I got a complaint. They're regaining their body parts from these sword swipes and dodging it. Like, she can't dodge a punch, and the punch is just obliterating her head. Like, I'm so confused on who made that call.
Well, it
I
could
know who made
also
the
be
call.
that like,
but why?
They get hurt, they learn the moves, and they don't get hurt again.
That's what I'm thinking of, because like the first time she gets cut up, and then the next time she goes, I was ready for that. And then when he finally comes, he's like, all right, drop the sword.
Yeah, but when he cut her for the first time, she didn't get cut once and then dodge all the cuts. She got cut up into pieces, and then the next time she didn't.
But I was figuring she was like, oh, I'm used to that, like by the speed, because he was proud of his speed. So when he got faster, she's like,
it was just the technique.
I'm used to that.
It was the same move, because she even says like, you're literally pretty much doing the same exact thing. I'm ready for it now.
Well, he did that, and then he did like when he was like enraged, she did even more swipes, and she still dodged well.
That's what I'm saying, because he was just doing.
That was just me.
He was so young and kind of just knew one technique.
Well, also swinging a sword is completely different than just punching someone in the face.
Yeah.
It's a complete different movement.
Yeah,
swords are precise. Yeah, the swords are precise.
I think we can all agree that punch should not be exploding heads.
Well, I mean, he was punched the shit out of her, brother.
Yeah.
If you punch someone enough, you could probably shatter their brain.
Well, it takes 10 pounds of pressure to crush a skull.
The way I'm interpreting it is because the series has shown the Asumon as like they're really good with swords, but like their superhuman abilities come from swinging the sword. That's never implied that their physical strength is that of like.
He wasn't born into the clan like everybody else.
Chobi, I understand.
He wasn't born into the clan like most everybody else.
Tenza's different too.
Dying child on the street, so that's like.
He's a vagrant that was boxing people up and stealing.
So the way they build up the Asumon is like, okay, they can scrap, but like, give me a heads up.
Yeah, but Tenza's not just a normal Asumon. That's like what we're trying to get at here.
So I figured a punch when it exploded.
Yeah, but he also just cut the god being up into literal 12 pieces.
And then literally like after
to cut bone. His master also says he relies on speed and not like changing it up. He just
And
relies on
yeah.
going faster.
And after he
So
bashed the
murder.
skull in, he grabbed his sword and cut the feet out from under it. Like
But I thought she was used to that.
Yeah,
she
you
wouldn't
said
expect it.
he was
Got
dead.
used to it.
Surprise!
Switched it up.
Okay, I think it was
Switch
more
that.
used to the technical sword swinging. So
Yeah.
when he threw that out the window and it was just going crazy and beating it up, I think that
I'm-
wasn't
if-
used to it at that
If I
point.
hadn't finished the story and I didn't know how strong these beings were, I would think they're kind of weak at this point. You guys agree that from an
Yeah.
outside
No.
perspective? Well, yes, they
No.
can do that.
Excuse me.
But a man
No.
who's half dead, can't talk, is sitting here boxing you up. Like, come on now.
Okay,
That's
but it
just-
didn't
What about
die,
all
and
of
it
that
literally
before
pointed
that?
at the dude and blasted
Yeah.
a hole through its body.
You mean
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's not weak at this
exactly?
point.
So with those injuries, he's boxing it up.
Okay,
I
if
don't
you're
know. I
thinking
feel
like
like-
that, Daniel, then he should never have cut it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I
because
If we're
personally feel
thinking
like
how you're
they were
I'm
thinking,
used to
he
that.
should never have
she
cut
said
it.
she was
Choice.
used to that. So once you're used to that, and this dude's
No,
on
what
his
you're
deathbed,
saying is how strong
No.
these things are. Tenzo should never have even gotten a single
Well,
swing off.
she even says like, I gotta take it more serious. Like
Well,
it
exactly.
takes
She was
it-
toying
and
or-
after
with him.
they learned the technique and has him on his deathbed, 5 holes in his body, and plus whatever else he did, they did to it. I can't remember exactly. You're telling me you're gonna get punched out by a dude who can't speak on his deathbed?
You're telling me
just-
that after the dude has 5 holes in his body, you're still gonna take him as serious as you were when he didn't have 5 holes?
I feel like you should.
I think
still
Tenza
be-
caught it
he
off
would be
guard, and that's
slower.
why he was able to. Oh, okay, but he wasn't slower because he had the mentality that he was trying to protect the people he loved.
I don't.
That's
Oh,
the whole
mentality
thing.
can
Because
carry
he
you
finally got somebody
Yeah,
that he
they never
loves
said
and
he
he wants to
slowed down,
protect.
though. They never said he
Well,
slowed down. So.
Just context clues. Somebody's half dead, more than half dead. Somebody's
Yeah, but
dying.
It's his last
You saw
stand,
in the
though.
episode 2 that he finally realized that he has someone he loves and wants to protect. And that's why he's getting that second win, that second burst.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's a big thing
They're
in most
dragging the
animes.
second
Like,
version. Like I get it in
Yeah,
like animes,
but
like
you
yeah,
know,
you
what
run
do
out
you
of
mean?
chakra, you want to protect your friends, you get a little bit more chakra, or Jujutsu Kaisen curse.
He
language,
literally
whatever.
died afterwards.
Yeah.
But
He literally
Yeah,
just got
it's like
one
a lot-
more.
I would understand if he got the second
My
win,
thing
beat
is
the shit
he's-
out of it, and then
he's-
got away and lived.
my thing
second
is,
win's
in
so
other
common in
animes and
most
stuff,
anime,
normally they're
it's
like
not even
normally running out of their
surprising.
they're running out of their power source, stuff like that. And this one, he's just dead. Like he's bleeding out. He's on the table.
He's not dead
the
yet,
ambulance is
though.
on the
It's
way.
his
All
last
right.
stand. It's his last stand.
Let's take this into perspective. They're Dragon Ball. Goku and the Spirit Bomb. After he threw the Spirit Bomb,
First of all-
motherfucker died.
First of all,
He had to gain energy from everybody because he didn't have enough.
Daniil,
first
you
exactly.
just have
Where
a
was
bad
Tenza getting
take.
energy from?
his will to protect the one he loves. He's never
finally
wanted to
realized
protect
it. He
someone in his
finally
entire
realized
life.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Naruto save all of his friends? Friendship. It's literally just.
You're acting
it's
like
just
this is something new.
stupid things to give him second fucking wins.
Well,
You're acting like this
the
is
way
never
I
been-
see Hell's Paradise, it's not. It's normally I don't see it as like your stereotypical shonen. Is it? Yeah, it's Shonen Jump, but I say I don't see it as your stereotypical shonen like Naruto, the power of friendship, no jutsu, or fucking Dragon Ball.
But they're kind
Let's
of.
go get the
doing
Dragon
a
Balls
little
and bring
bit.
everyone back to life. Like this is like for
No,
me,
but
it's
the-
just
the
more
It's not
thing
the
is
power
that
of
the
friendship, but
second
he
win
drew his
is
arrow
power
forward
of
and then
love.
died.
I mean,
love.
Let's
They
think
did
about it
say
this way.
love is
The
a
whole-
powerful thing. I'm pretty sure. So
the whole
Yeah.
reason that we have this show is because the main character is trying to get a way back to the person he loves.
yeah, but the thing is, the main character is also known as the strong. Like he's feared by everybody knows the name. They fear him. So there's some merit to
Yeah,
him
but
being.
there's still,
being
it's
him.
still like
Oh.
it's not like a new thing that we've never seen before either.
Well, I get what you're saying, but like I feel like you guys just are just completely discounting what I'm
I
saying.
think
like,
you're discounting Tenza.
no, I get he's strong and everything, but when you get hit that much and you're dying, you're dead. You're basically dead already.
We've seen this in so many other series too, Daniel.
Not from the deathbed.
Yes, you have.
Yes, we have.
Who?
though.
Naruto and Sasuke
Naruto
against
had to get his heart started again. Sakura
Zabuza,
literally
Zabuza
cut
and
him, and she was starting
Haku.
his heart.
That's
Yeah,
different
she
because the
pumped his
9
heart.
tails chakra. That's what I'm saying. He was out of chakra, and she was in. Haku was
And they were
intentionally
almost
not.
dead.
Haku was no, it's not the same because Haku was intentionally not killing them because she had a soft spot for it. He had a hot soft
Okay.
spot. My bad.
and the
Okay.
Tenzin wasn't
So
intentionally
that's-
killing
that's
Tenza
not-
because he was toying with him.
This was after. He
Okay,
said, I
what
gotta take
about-
him serious.
What about when Sakura had to restart Naruto's heart?
Okay, What I'm
Deathbed,
saying, Daniel,
literally
is
dead.
yes, the Tenzin took Tenza
Nobody
serious.
restarted Tenza. Nobody filled his patched his hole. There's no patch.
Tenza wasn't dead.
And Sakura's a healer.
He wasn't.
So that's
dead,
different.
Though.
The power system.
That's what we're trying to.
No,
I
died
don't.
Bro,
twice.
I
I
just
he
said-
wasn't dead. But
Daniel,
the
he had
injury
5
was-
holes in his body and he was still swinging a sword. And then
And
he
it was-
realized that he wanted them to run.
It
It
was
took more
just his
damage.
last. It was his
did
last
take more
like
damage.
hoorah, and you're just pooping on his last hoorah. And
I'm not pooping on like I'm just saying that they should just had him keep using the sword. I didn't need to see
No,
this
you
dude
no. What
boxing
you
like
want
he's
is him to
Muhammad
just
Ali.
die. You want him to
Yeah,
die,
this thing-
and then you want
No, I
Shion to
want-
die, and then
I
you want.
wanted him.
Naruto
I
to
actually
die.
I like him. He was one of my favorite characters for how little we knew of him. I
But
really
from what
liked
you're
him.
saying, from your point of view,
No, like he could
they
have.
all should have
he-
died because he
like,
should have got the
everybody
second.
on the
I just
island
think
except
they-
for Gabby Morrow should get
But if
absolutely.
he can punch that hard, he don't need to use a sword to be decapitating people. or
Maybe he
fighting
didn't know he
monsters.
could punch that
Maybe
hard.
he could have punched that hard in the first place. A sword is just a better weapon than your fist.
Exactly, and the sword it did its job, but this fist actually had the Tenza like the Tenzin like I can't chase like I'm guessing because he doesn't chase them. Oh, I can't chase them. I've taken too much damage from this dude punching me who's
Okay,
already dying.
Daniel, what
Well,
you're
maybe-
telling
maybe
me
it was just
is
personal
if
at
you're
that point.
if you're fighting
Person-
somebody, if you're fighting somebody, and they are almost dead, and then they turn around and sock you in the mouth, you're not going to be like, "Whoa, what did that come from?" And then
Well,
he
No,
keeps
you're
coming
gonna
at
bury
you.
him.
You can't do anything.
This is an
You're stun locked.
omnipotent being.
It's like a
It
chicken running around with his head
basically-
cut off.
You're stunned. Okay, it's missing half its head because it just got punched in the head, bro.
You're said, but this you just said if you're done with it and then they punch you. So like at this point,
Yes,
like,
your guard
there's
is
no
lowered.
way- There is no.
Your guard's lowered.
way.
It's
Maybe
like
the
back in the very
Tenzin
beginning when
expected him
Tenza
to
got
just
the
be
5
dead.
cuts off.
Maybe they just expected him just to be dead, and then
Like,
like
I
his
get all
last
my
little
my thing is coming from like,
gasoline on the
I
fire.
just
he
have
just
I don't have
decided
a
to go
problem
out
with any.
swinging.
I have a problem with the power of the punches. These are some Goku level punches for no.
They aren't though. You're acting like
He
Tenza
was like
turned
close.
around and just blew the being in half by one punch.
He blew
It
their
took
He
head.
like
punched the dude
five or
like
six.
15
Disintegrated his
times.
head.
He punched him 15 times.
But each
It wasn't
punch-
the first punch that
each
He
punch
was
was
walking
taken-
his
them
head.
backwards,
Each punch
just
was
mopping
taking
them
off
up.
pieces of their body.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
Watch it
was.
again. Run it back. The first
it back.
punch, it just
put it on the
pushed,
screen
turned the
if I
guy's
can.
head.
If I can
It
find
literally
it
just turned the
legally, I'll put it on the
Tenzin's
screen.
head, and then he punched him like 6 more times, and that's when he started doing more damage.
Each punch did damage.
If you get punched in the face full power, it's gonna do damage.
Bro, this is yes. If I get punched in the face full power,
If anything does,
I'm
the
gonna get
Tenzin
hurt.
are
Bro,
immortal.
They're also made out of
They take
plant.
damage.
They're made out of plant. I
I
feel like they're
can't-
easier to fall
I
apart.
can't go into.
That is
your
true. They
statement
are
unless-
organic.
I
They are
can't-
plant organic life forms.
I
And
can't
like
go
think
further
about
into
it,
your
like
statement,
they
Daniel, without spoiling.
once their body
I'm just
parts
saying,
fall,
bro.
No,
they
I-
take right back together. It doesn't matter how tough it is to get through.
They're
It's just gonna
sentient,
come right back
plant.
together. Yeah.
like sentient Venus flytraps, like
You tell
that
me.
can walk and talk.
Well, no, they're made from. I don't even know what they're just made from all sorts of things. So it depends. Is it?
I just
fucking trees
wanna
that they're
know
made
where-
from, or
Where your opinion's coming from, because
I
we've
told
seen
you,
that they
it's
can
just-
take damage.
yeah, I get that
Many
but
times.
This, I don't have a problem with them taking damage. I have a problem with the power of his punches. Like I said,
You
Yeah,
gotta run it
you
back
had the-
because
you had the
I'm
same
telling
problem
you,
when we read
it
it.
wasn't
Got
the
a
first punch
rip
that
of
took stuff
cyclotron
off.
on him.
It wasn't it wasn't like he
He
punched him
just-
the one time and his head came
Bro,
off.
You
Buddy
had
that's
the
like-
same
Buddy just had
complaint
his
when we
rip-
read it.
Buddy just had his ripple cyclotron on, so it's okay.
I'm just confused because you're acting
You-
like
I
One
think you're
Punch
getting
Man was
what I'm
out there.
That's what I'm saying.
He literally just like
Now, if
punched him
Saitama
through
was
a
out there, I'm
mountain
like,
or
okay,
something.
this is
He's
where the
like,
power's
"Ah!"
coming from.
Bro punched him like 19
Bro, it
times,
was-
cut his legs off, and then punched him more on the ground, and then died on the ground.
It was his last hurrah. Maybe he was just letting everything out. You don't know. Like
Maybe
that's just
everything out as
my
everything's already
my-
seeping out. Yeah, then everything was getting let out.
Hey man, maybe he just dug just a little bit deeper. That he felt like he just because he wasn't
Just past
it's
his
not like he was-
intestines, it's just a little bit deeper in there.
Well, no. Okay, here's my thing. He wasn't going into that fight to win. He was going into that fight to buy time. That's all he was doing. So why not just the last say fuck it? I'm
He
gonna
literally
put
died
everything
while
I
fighting.
can
It's
in.
not like
Yeah.
the Tenzin killed him. He died
It's
after
not like he
stopping the
completely
Tenzin.
squashed the Tenzin and then just folded up and died on the side. Like he still got put down, just pretty fine. I'm sure the Tenzin
I-
was maybe a little
I
emotionally
get
not
all of
okay.
this. I'm
but-
just saying he was swinging too hard.
He hit
That's
him
my
so
only-
many times. What do
Like,
you
I don't-
mean?
Okay, I don't
Would
know.
you
his-
not be trying to hit him that hard?
He's
Like,
just-
I'll poke him. Dude.
Like yes, if I wanted to hit someone that hard, I don't care how much I wanted to. I don't care if someone just snatched my girl. I ain't hitting someone that hard. This is anime, so
Okay.
it's not related, but still, like it doesn't matter how hard you want to hit somebody, can you? And I just thought,
Hey,
like,
he's not punching to hit him.
Tenza
He's
was
punching through him.
dying. He's going to
Punching
use
through him.
every last bit of strength he has.
after all of it,
And he did.
when he was dying. No, I definitely hear you guys. It's just my
This
one
isn't
issue
a
is his
new
power.
concept, Daniil. You're
I
acting
know.
like this is like
You act like
I feel
impossible
on
to
death
occur.
the way
door
this
is a new
series, the way this
concept in
series
anime.
has been going is just like this dude getting all this power to punch somebody. Like it's just the power
And-
scale on this in this
The
series. Is,
power of love
What
power of
compels
the-
it's not like
you.
okay, but
power of
what
the
I don't get
Asuma
is
come
you're
from
acting
there's,
like
like,
he
their
punched the
sword
dude in a
abilities.
hole formed inside the Tenzin's body.
No, y'all.
He
are
just
not
punched the
hearing.
dude 20 times.
Hey, his master also saw a lot of potential in him. So maybe he has more going for him than just being a swordsmith person, dude. Like being
Swordsmith?
a fuck the
Executioner?
dude, I guess an executioner, really. But
Same.
maybe he had more to him that his master could see, and that's why he decided to take him under his wing and try to
That
bring
could be true,
that
but
out
it
of
was
him.
never said. So, yeah, that's a good point. But it was. I was just saying, like the way they have showed
Granted,
the
yeah, it
power
probably doesn't
from
get said.
the
but
criminal's
power
power
of
has come
love
from like
compels you.
supernatural type things, and then
Maybe he
superhuman
was,
things,
'cause-
but
Is it because
He didn't
Chobi's
do a
strong
lot of-
and he doesn't have supernatural powers?
that's what the chim. No, not the supernatural powers. Superhuman like abilities. Like they have the superhuman strength
Well-
and things like that. He definitely has superhuman strength. He ripping people apart. Like, he's biting necks and all that.
Yeah, but
He different.
Tenza could also have that. He's not born into the clan. He was brought in.
That's what I'm saying. It was just the
'Cause he was a
perspective of how
criminal.
The criminals are strong because of this. The Asumon, they are feared by the criminals. Fear him because
Oh.
their ability with the blade. It was never in.
why can't he be a
Fine, that-
mix of both?
He
A
could be.
criminal.
I'm just saying. My thing
and-
is, it was never implied that. So when it's shown, it's just like, okay,
I get,
Kinda
I, get,
was
I guess,
implied
I
that.
get,
buddy,
I guess
go
I get
crazy.
that, but
Right.
I
think-
also see the fact of
If you
like,
say because
him
he
being a
punched somebody in
criminal.
his flashback, bro.
No, because it said Shion's past student turned into a criminal and was beheaded because he was a criminal.
Yeah,
So it's kind
you
of
guys saying
pointing to the
Tenza
fact
was
that
a
Tenza could
criminal?
also
He
turn into a
was.
criminal.
he
That
was a
beginning.
criminal.
Yeah, when he was 10.
Yeah, I mean, technically he was a
He's
criminal.
still not old. You're acting like he's 42. He's probably
Yeah.
like mid 20s
He's-
at this
he's-
point.
He's the, I don't
If
know.
he
I
did.
wouldn't say that. I'd say he's like probably
No.
18.
In the
18,
flashback, he was
21,
like
18,
13
21.
or 14, dude.
Like,
No,
I don't know. I think
I just was surprised with how the show had been like showing the perspective of strength. So like when he was just sitting there walloping on people, that was like kind of like okay. I mean, get your licks in, but
you took it as that. I took it as his last.
no,
straw.
definitely
I don't know.
that's what the great thing about anime. It's perceived differently.
Which
so.
I would agree with you, Daniil, if when he was punching him, like body parts were just flying off of
when
the
I
Tenza,
see it, when I
which
see
it wasn't.
body parts start exploding though, like yeah, I get he after 5, it still a body part exploding, a head boom, like. But no, like,
I think him being plant
I think
matter
we
plays into it
understand
a little
where each
more.
other are coming from. So I'm not hating your guys' side, or I see
No, you
where you
definitely
guys
are.
coming from. My thing is just they just present the powers this way, and then this dude is just the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana,
Power
I
of
guess.
Christ compels you.
I'm gonna change the
Power of
Maybe it
topic.
was
compels you.
Back to the Tenzin. So when we first see them with Chobi, I like how the like illustrators and like how they animated it. How when they're changing, they don't have any detail to their bodies. So
Yeah.
like when they're in female form, there's
It's
no
so-
detail. It's just like blank.
It's because that is such a
I
big
looked
part of the
back.
series.
I
that
looked back.
I
They
like how
have
they just completely
details in
blank that
the-
part
by
out
the way.
because in the manga,
yeah.
it shows it.
Yeah, they have details.
Say it does, but
I think it's better
they're doing
with
it-
no
I
detail.
think it's better without the details.
they're doing
Yeah, I
it
could
without the
agree with
details,
that.
so it doesn't have like that. So it still has like it doesn't have to be like fucking like adult rating or things like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
And it
yeah.
I
can
think-
still be true to the manga, but and you still get the idea. So
I think it adds to the story though, because it's showing that they're so different. They literally just don't conform to like one male, one female, or whatever.
They're like asexual or whatever.
Yeah, in a way. And
Whatever,
I think
like a plant.
it was also pretty cool in
Yeah.
the fight where the Tenzin was switching
The
between male and female
supernatural
depending on
beings, I'm familiar with that.
which
I think-
gender I guess would
that might be
help
a
them
spoiler.
more in the fight.
Never mind.
So like
Well, no.
the fight with Tenzin. So when it was a female, it was like dodging the
That's
attacks
what I
more
said. I
than
think
when it was a
I
male, it
was
was
just about
stronger.
to say that the male comes across as like the power, and then
Mhm.
the agile and the agility comes from like.
Yeah, I
the-
thought that was a pretty
the women.
interesting
They're
part to it.
supernatural beings, and we don't know much about them quite yet.
You don't.
I
You
don't.
don't.
I ain't gonna spoil.
I
it.
do. I don't know as much
You
as
say
Emil,
you
but I know a little bit.
that from where you are to the end, the series is at 100 the whole time. It's such a good series, so I'm excited.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is all gas, no brakes. It is pretty good at just going.
I think I'd give episode 7 because we learn more about the island and there's not a lot of fighting. I'll give it a moderate 7.
Nah, bro.
Episode 8, episode 8,
s-
I'm gonna give that a 10.
I still think it's
That was fire.
no lower than 8.5 because it's just it's not a lot of action, but the importance of the information it's giving.
No, I said it was
I
a
mean,
moderate
we still
7.
saw action too.
I wasn't-
Because
I
we saw
wasn't gonna,
at the
Chobi
very
fight,
end, yeah. So I think
Yeah.
and
it's
then
the
we
last
don't know what happens to Chobi
5.
at the end too.
There's like the last 5 minutes fighting.
Mhm.
So I still give it an 8.5, 9. I give it a 9. I don't know how you go lower than 8.5 though.
I'd give it an
Last
8.
episode still 9.5, 10 for me.
I'd give it an 8 just because, as Daniil says, the best way to get my attention is bright flashes and colors and sounds. And there wasn't too many
You
of
say
those.
that's
in
just the first one, so first episode.
No, it was a good episode. I would just give it an 8 because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it was the best thing ever. I think it was just kind of like your little bit of information gathering and little side, or I guess like side details that you're going to want to know later down the line that are going to be needed. I think episode 8 was pretty killer though. I'd give that probably about like a half. Just because I'd give it a 10 if Tenza lived, but I knew he wasn't, and it was just a little heartbreaking. And I was still hoping he would just find a damn way, but yeah, either way, they're still killing it. Like they're not putting it in that episode right now. So
And when we know this dude's dead because she said you have to be alive to be tan, but I'm annoyed. So
yeah, I'm annoyed.
I'd give episode 7 probably an 8.5, and then episode 8 I'd probably give a 10, just because even though Tenza died, you have that big emotional twist where him and Narugi were talking about getting married, even though it's super quick, and then you
I think
realize
she's like
that
16, 15.
yeah,
so.
you realize that she's watching the person that she was just talking to about getting married when they get back fight for his life so that they could get out. So it's pretty emotional there. The fight was really good. I mean, not a lot of complaints for me. So
All right.
All right, that's all we have for today. I don't know what our next video is going to be. I was going to give like a little sneak peek or whatever, but no, check out other videos. I have some on the screen, probably in the top left, top right, and then
Watch our shorts.
Yeah, shorts always good. We got some nice shorts out there. And if you are more into like video game simulation type fighting, I might put a Mugen video up. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.
yeah.
yeah.